Hey everybody, it's Ethan McKinley, and I drank too much cough medicine this morning. I'm only kidding. It's episode 44. Sorry, that's a lie. I'm already lying to you.
Episode 43.
Give me the sodium pentothal, CIA man. I'm telling lies already. And here's the truth.
It's episode. That pork sandwich you ate?
It's episode 43. It's the 2-Minute Terminator, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. I'm Ethan McKinley, and
Oh, I'm Ellie Fitzgerald. Normally you say I'm my charming co-host.
I know. I was trying to throw you a curveball.
And I dropped it.
Yes, it is episode 43 of the 2-Minute Terminator, and we are going from minutes
120 to 122.
Oh, look at you doing your homework. Yes, 84 minutes to 86 minutes, apparently, according to mine. I think I'm more right than yours, probably, so don't worry about it. Who cares anyway, listeners? You even following this film as we go along? Are you even listening? Who knows? Ellie!
Hit the music!
I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Load up.
You didn't do the fourth.
Thank God. It sucked. It's so good.
Now, Ellie, you've famously done your homework on this show recently, the last few episodes.
Yes.
What are the in and out points, my dear?
The in and out points of this particular episode are, we start with the young heroes all in the bus. We have Sarah, we have Kyle, and we have Pops speeding down a highway in a school bus. And the scene ends with, let me just quickly look at my notes.
The school, well, it's the what is it? The chain being dragged across the road, the spiky kind of
Yes.
Tyre ripper.
To stop said bus that's been hijacked by people who, as the lady says on the police intercom, are armed and very dangerous. Take it away, Ethan. I tried to do your kind of radio voice.
I think
sometimes
I need to
you
stop
get on
doing
this
that.
kind of spin where you kind of
sound like a professional radio host. And I don't want to do that, and it's not good, is it?
It's weird. It's almost like you kind of step out of your Ethan body and step into like this fucking this. I almost imagine like
overly angry over nothing. Relax, swearing.
I think I'm just passionate about it. It's almost like you're.
If only you were, we'd have a daily show.
Ethan, it's almost like you're
cutting remarks.
Your
not
corporate,
in front of the listeners, Ethan. We say
your corporate skin. Your corporate skin. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just practicing, but I think I've fallen into a mental tick of doing it now. But I kind of I try and put a bit of musicality in my voice, because some of the other shows, I'm not going to name names, tend to be a bit dry. So I try and add a bit of a nice up and down quality for the listeners to hear. Not that the shows are bad; they're all awesome and professional and stuff.
Nothing other than my hair is dry about this show. This show is moist and
hair on your boxes. Anyway,
I actually finally shaved though.
Oh, well done. I've always suggested, Ellie, you should get a friend, a close friend. Not this isn't a metaphor for me, listeners. By the way, I'm not voting for this.
the laser hair removal.
No. You should just get someone to shave it for you in like an erotic display.
Oh.
I did it to a chick once.
Is this something that you've done before, Ethan?
I have. I did it to an old girlfriend over 20 years ago.
She wasn't old. She was. Is this like in Ethan's past? She wasn't like a dirty old granny that Ethan just stuck in the sink.
Get me a Dremel and a hacksaw.
She was his gran. Every Sunday.
Old bag.
That's why Misty's so messed up.
I need a disc sander on this. Forceps. Yeah, you should have done that anyway. It doesn't matter. It's
your voice went all funny, like like the kid in Simpsons, the one that works on the desk.
I have to ask the manager.
Oh, Ethan, so we have this particular 2 minutes. It starts with our three musketeers in the bus, and Arnold is testing these rings that he grabbed from that speaker, that tannoy system, as we saw in the previous episode. What has Arnie actually done to these rings to then make it into some kind of like gauntlet thing. That, as he says, will disrupt John's magnetic field, whatever. Like, what's actually made?
In the last episode, he took the magnets out of the public... Is it public announcement? No, what's the proper word for it?
Tannoy.
The tannoy. Now, I think that's more of an English word, isn't it?
Doesn't matter. It is what it is. A TV is a TV in England.
If you wanted to order one of these things, you wouldn't say, I need to order a tannoy.
It's tannoy. I just hear it as
to go in the lounge. It's lounge. You'd say the sitting room if you were saying the proper wordage, but instead of lounge. Well, tannoy is the lounge of public address system, isn't it? Something like that. Anyway,
it's just become a word, a sound.
Just word salad pouring out of Ethan's mouth. I don't know what he's got it hooked up to. It's obviously the magnets he's took out of the public, I guess.
Tannoy system.
Yeah, just stick with that. Whatever. Whatever works.
Stop telling me what to do.
So he's got a wrist thing and something goes over his hand, but there's no kind of actual power attached to it. I would assume...
That's what I was thinking. And when he moves it, it almost makes like a mechanical sound, which makes no sense at all.
Well, that's his hand, isn't it? That's them kind of like the Foley artist who did the sound effects trying to like over-telegraph that he's an old rusty Terminator of sorts.
Mm.
It's also...
It's funny... Sorry, carry on.
No, you carry on.
No. I was going to completely change the subject.
Well, I was going to jump ahead and come to the most ludicrous part of the clip. In fact, one of the most ludicrous parts of the film. But we'll get to that. What were you going to say, Ellie?
I was going to say, and all of a sudden they're getting on now because they share a little moment in the back of the bus, and Sarah kind of like looks back at them and looks back to the road and has this little smile, like she's, oh, my boys. I was like, what? You were cussing him out earlier. And all of it, I don't know. I just find their whole dynamic very strange.
Well,
I can't keep up. Are they friends? Are they not?
They kind of said they loved each other 2 shows back, didn't they?
No, she didn't say it.
But she was essentially saying it because, like, she was like, look, it can't happen because if I love you, you'll die, and I don't want to do that. Obviously meaning she's kind of into him at this point.
Yeah, but how? He's been such a douche up to this point. They've been constantly arguing.
In his defence... And we're not a fan of Jai Courtney in this film or on this podcast. I'll take that back. He's great in Suicide Squad.
Or just in general life.
I think he's not been given a part that suits him yet until we got to Suicide Squad, which he smashed and knocked out of the park. No,
which he basically played himself.
In his
defence.
Well
done, mate. Well done.
She's been the biggest douche out of, like, all the characters, really.
I know, but she can because she's the mother of the future.
But
she's got a pussy pass, man.
But she's not the mother of the future anymore because they're in this alternate timeline, aren't they?
Well, she kind of is because she still did, give birth to John.
This wrist gauntlet thing's bothering me. Spaulding's back on the scene, I noticed, so maybe he can answer this question. There's no power source attached to it. And are they all kind of positive and negative magnets, or are they opposites? I'm not sure. Because when he goes through the floor of the cab... And by the way, listeners, if you
it flings off and magnetizes, doesn't it?
And sticks to the chair. If you want to actually follow what we're actually talking about, listeners, by the way, you can go to the YouTube channel, 2 Minute Terminator, and actually see the clip we're talking about in question as we do a live commentary kind of over the footage, much to the chagrin of the of Skydance, Paramount Pictures, and the owners of the property, who I fight with constantly on a daily basis. I don't know. It's also I question why they're actually trying to shoot at him.
Well.
Conventional weapons. Keith Richards. Keith cannot be killed by conventional weapons.
But he can be killed with a Camberwell carrot.
I had the very same dream.
Can we just go back a little bit?
Did you think the crack in the Indian's bottom was a tad? Was a bit too much? Was a tad excessive?
That's it, tad excessive. He's so great, that guy. In a weird way, he's almost hot, but I think if it actually came down to it...
Ralph Brown, of course,
I think the nose would put me off.
Who played Rick Ollie, Star Wars Minute fans. He always played Danny the drug dealer in With Nail and I, and he got the part in Wayne's World 2 based off that character, literally playing the same character, essentially, in his big
essentially,
rock and roll
basically,
rig.
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
When the bus comes out of the bridge...
you know what? Let's cut the radio voice here. I'm sorry, listeners. We're all over the place because I'm doing this kind of under some duress. I've been doing last-minute Christmas shopping. I've had to race back. had a war with my progenitor,
Mother.
Skynet herself, Beryl. And if you want to have a listen to an episode with her, that we did a couple or three back at the start, or the beginning, I think, of the Terminator Season 2.
The
Terminator
crowd
2.
loved it. Especially John Nichols. That made me worry about him a bit.
But yeah, I've been trying to get something, and then this thing I've got needed a battery, and it's such a specialised, stupid bloody battery. Why they don't make like 3 or 4 batteries, like AAA, AA, a square one? Those ones you put on your tongue of your kid, and it would go zzz, and you go, oh.
Did you actually do that?
Yeah, all the time.
Did it actually work?
Yeah, because you've got some of those square batteries, you've got the positive and the negative charge next to each other, which actually could bring it back to the magnets Arnie's got around his wrist.
Exactly. I was about to say, what would happen to John if he licked a magnet?
As a human, he just get like a electrifying sensation on his tongue, I guess, like I did. Maybe this is why I'm dyslexic now, I don't know. I mean,
Ethan just spent all of his school days just licking magnets.
I don't have many problems in life, but when my mum fires at the microwave, I do piss my pants and forget who I was for half an hour. So So, yeah. Well, I don't know. They just... This is the reason the show's all over the place today, folks. But novelty and variety is what keeps this show fresh.
We love it. We love it. So, as I was saying, they drive out of the tunnel, and all of a sudden, something crashes onto the roof of the bus that's going along for ages. And we see what I think is a Harley Davidson. Is that right?
I would imagine it's a Harley Davidson, although it's not explicitly stated that it could only be a Harley Davidson because it's an Arnold film and he's a big fan of Harley Davidsons. Weirdly enough, though, there's a Camaro passing the bus 4 seconds into the clip. As they enter the tunnel, there's a kind of silvery-looking Camaro, which, of course, is Bumblebee from the Transformer movies.
Transformer! I didn't know that.
If you've ever ridden in one, I think it's a 2008 concept Camaro. I don't think they really came out till 2012 as a release car, but sitting in one, there's no kind of headroom. They're very difficult to drive, and they're really uncomfortable to kind of sit in. I found when I've been in a Camaro when I was in LA.
Yeah, but Ethan, you're a giant.
They are, but I just...
You're like that huge dude in Simpsons that gets out of that really tiny car.
But...
It's like you getting out of your mum's car.
The roof clearance is so small, and the posts that hold the roof up all around the car give you very little visibility. That's my 2 cents anyway. 2008 concept Camaro.
Yeah, so we see John land on top of the bus on the bike, and all of a sudden, the police arrive. Very, very quickly, and I thought that was quite odd considering the traffic. And there is also a little bit of a cock-up here, because when it goes from the chase to them being in the bus, you hear the siren, and then you stop hearing the siren, and then the siren comes back, and it's weird because the siren's actually getting closer, but then the siren completely stops when they're back on the bus and they're pacing down, and that's then when Arnold gets pulled through the centre. Which actually, that's actually a qualm that I had. I thought that Terminators had this kind of, not X-ray vision, but they have this special vision where they can see through walls and shit. Special vision. How come Pops wasn't able to see that? A, it would have been pretty obvious if he was on the roof, because there'd have been indentations because he's a piece of metal or whatever. And B, he would have just been able to see through the floor to see that John was actually under the vehicle.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. To answer your question about the sound, my theory might be is because this film is in 5.1 Dolby Digital, I've just obviously cut this movie in chunks and ripped it and converted it to MP4. So because you're looking at it on a computer, which only has 2 speakers, probably only even 1 in your case, the sound might drop out because there's no channel for the extra sound to maybe come out of.
Okay.
So that's my possible explanation for that. As for the X-ray vision thing, yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know.
I don't really know.
Well, I mean, it comes to the point I was going to mention before I stopped myself, so I was jumping too far ahead into the clip, that when he does get pulled under the bus and dragged under it and spun, in the first Terminator, the Terminator was hit by a tanker truck, and he messed up his leg and hip and was limping from that point up to the point where he got burnt, and then he turned into like a claymation robot. He was still limping. This guy comes out the bottom of the bus, gets spun around, twisted, and he's an old Terminator, bear in mind, listeners. And then when he hits the oncoming police car.
Yeah. With his face.
Yeah, imagining how heavy this Terminator would actually be. Doesn't break the car in half, or the momentum just go right through the car and through the face of the guy that's driving it. If you threw like a safe or a fridge out the back of a bus and it hit the front of a speeding oncoming car, the weather looks fine inside the car. The guy's just like, huh, and just gets out of the car. I don't know. Why
do they never show that on those TV programs that shows car chases?
Well, maybe Mythbusters.
I'd love to see a fridge being thrown out of a school bus onto.
Well, I imagine Mythbusters have covered it in some other capacity, because I guess no one would ask any questions about Terminator. I was just trying to think of an example of a film when this might have happened, where they throw something out of a car and it hits another car. I'm trying to think if that car chase in Lethal Weapon 4, when Mel Gibson, the genius, the brilliant, the lovable, crazy Mel Gibson.
We do love.
Before he went calling police officers sugar tits and calling out the Jews and threatening to put his girlfriend in a rose garden.
Oh my God!
I'm not going to buy you one. I'm going to bury you one.
We won't go into his ramblings
now. He's throwing stuff out the back of a truck onto oncoming cars, and he's also then gets pushed out of like a motorhome window. And the perspex glass kind of wraps into like a sheet, and he's hanging onto that while sitting on the underside of a table and kind of surfing it. That's the only thing I could think of, that where they're throwing stuff at other cars. I'm not even sure even that happens then. But I digress. It looks a bit CGI when his head comes through the windscreen as well.
It does actually,
yeah.
But that's probably because they couldn't actually smash his face suit. They're just being lazy. But also, yeah, you're right. He would have smashed through that policeman's face and car. But also, Arnie's face would have been completely smashed up. He's just, I can imagine car windscreen glass being quite thick, especially a police car windscreen, which they'll assume will be shot at.
Well, that would have been the end of him, I think, or at least it, like damaged enough to be immobile.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I would have thought his face would have been completely smashed in.
I mean, movie physics, of course. We understand this, it's fine. I just think they change the rules sometimes, because he's not acting like a Terminator has in the past when it's been like injured or damaged or hit by another car. And this is meant to be like an older Terminator, at least 30 odd, maybe 40 years old, if he's been there since, what is it, the mid-70s up to 2017,
something like that, yeah.
So like 45 years old, assuming he was like fresh even then, off the rack from the Skynet Terminator factory.
I do actually have another qualm with this particular 2 minutes as well.
Lay it on
when Arnold gets pulled down through the center of the bus, you see John's hand shoot up through the floor, but it's an exposed like endoskeleton hand.
Yeah.
But John regenerates.
He
instantly.
Does. But maybe.
So why has he got an exposed hand all of a sudden?
I could only assume there's no point having the pretense anymore, and that's it really.
No, because he's not an endoskeleton covered in rubber flesh or even real flesh. He's
true form, different. Isn't it? It's kind of like that mix of like.
Because if you actually look at it, it looks like almost an old school traditional Terminator hand. It doesn't look like the smooth kind of form that we saw when he was walking out of the flames at all.
Let's have a look. I don't know. I'm looking at it. It looks like a gloved hand in the kind of speed, but it's just like a very gunmetal grey hand. Smell the glove. Yeah.
Well, I've been watching it on my big screen. I've seen it quite a few times.
I know. I can see it too. I am from Wales. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, what the fuck was that?
I've got a fact attack for you.
Fact attack.
With a caveat, I've not really had time to study my notes, so I'm reading this as we go. So if there's a few stumbles, I'm going to try and do my best, listeners. But as you all know, my sight reading is for dog shit, so I will never be a Baptist preacher, an auto cue reader, a presenter of any kind of award ceremony, or a newsreader. Podcasting, though, I found a solace in it, but we'll see how we get on. Ellie, in this film, most of Terminator Genisys takes place in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, in the year of 2017. There is a shot of a rainbow-painted tunnel. When shooting wrapped in 2014, and as recently as July 2015, it had been named the Waldo Tunnel. Why, we don't know. But legalization just passed to rename it
Where's
the
Waldo?
Robin... I don't know, because Waldo is his scarf, I guess, is red and white. But legislation has just passed to rename it the Robin Williams Tunnel to honour the actor who died in August 2014. As a result, it will still bear the name. It will still bear his name 2 years from now.
Why Robin Williams, though?
Yeah, because why is it a rainbow?
He wasn't
Isn't it
gay.
like... Exactly. And
Just looks like a big gay tunnel to me.
yeah, I didn't notice it until this clip, really. But
Can we
like,
call
yeah,
this
why
episode-
would you paint it out?
Can we call this episode Robin Williams' Big Gay Tunnel?
Sure, remember it.
Right, I'm going to write that down because I never remember. Ever. Do you have any more facts that I can attack with my pew pew pew?
No, but I've got some cock-ups you can go up with.
Cock
Pew, pew.
up. Bing! I'm all about the sound effects.
Right, there's a ton here, so strap in, listeners. The heavy vehicles, such as school buses that use air brake systems. Start again. Heavy vehicles, such as school buses, use air brake systems. When a loss of pressure is experienced, as we see in this clip, in the system, such as when John, I guess, what does he pull? He deploys the air tank. The
That's
brakes
not in this 2
auto-apply.
minutes.
Is it not?
No, it's in the next 2 minutes.
All right. Ignore what I've just said. I'm going to add that to the next 2 minutes. Occasionally, there's a little bleed over. What can I say?
No, he gets rid of the brakes in this particular 2 minutes.
Oh, I really wanted to read that bit.
Well, read it.
No, it's fine. Oh, fuck it. All right, I'll read it.
Read it, go on.
Unrehearsed show. This is what it's like, folks. Heavy vehicles such as school buses that use air brake systems, when a loss of pressure is experienced in the system, such as when John destroys the air tanks, that thing we see him ripping off in the next episode, which you haven't seen, Ellie, the brakes auto-apply. The bus would therefore simply come to an immediate halt, not continue with no brakes as seen in the movie. Are you ready again?
Cock up. Fat cock.
Cock facts! Fat cock facts!
Bing.
For CHP squads with the incorrect star logo livery, these are the police officers that are chasing them. Seen on the Golden Gate Bridge, these are the cars, the 2006 to the 2016 Chevrolet Impala 9C1s. The CHP in real life does not operate the Chevrolet Impala since the vehicle does not meet the payload requirements for their needs. The main squad is a Police Force Interceptor Utility, which has been in service since 2013, replacing discontinued Crown Victoria Police Interceptor vehicles, which were discontinued in 2011. The CHP vehicle maintenance is paid out of the department's expenses per year, and when the squad goes past 100,000 miles, where the department enters into a bidding process to procure fleet replacements. So basically, when a car gets to 100,000 miles, they're looking for like a new car, basically. So these cars are movie cars. The San Francisco police do not use Chevrolet Impala 9C1s. They use Ford Police Interceptor Utility vehicles. So there you go. They previously obviously used the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. And chocolate oranges are available at Rawlinson's.
Do you like chocolate?
No, but I've got a nice big fat cock up.
Bing, bing, bing.
Bing! During the school bus sequence on the bridge, the police roadblock... Hang on. The police set up a roadblock... I'm so bad at fucking selfie. On the school bus... Start again. You know what it is? It's discombobulation. I'm surrounded by like torn wrapping paper, incomplete now gifts, which I've got to find this fiddly little freaking thing that goes.
You just need to just relax, dude. Like, it's just relax.
There's just so much to do, Ellie. Anyway, did you know that during the school bus sequence on the bridge, the police block off the bridge on the side and set up spike strips just a few yards in front of them? There is absolutely no point, and it's pointless to do this, as the tyres do not have enough time to deflate before hitting the police cars. They're basically too close to the roadblock they've set up. If they were going to do this in real life, Ellie, they would have deployed it a few miles before the bridge, and not set up the roadblock until the tyres were completely deflated and the vehicle in question would have slowed down. In this case, a school bus. So they're basically 20 feet from the spike strips. It would just go careening through them and just kill everybody.
Oh my god.
Cock up number 4?
4. Bing, bing, bing.
Is me being allowed to read my own facts.
Well, that was the best one.
It was, wasn't it?
But you did answer my question, because I was going to say, what bridge is that? That big orangey red bridge.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what bridge it was.
It's the Golden Gate Bridge.
What's so significant about the Golden Gate? I thought the Golden Gate was like getting into heaven, no?
No, that's the Pearly Gates.
Oh, Pearly. Golden Pearly.
And just for you filthy-minded Ellie, I think Ellie probably assumed the Pearly Gates was a sex move when someone just...
I actually didn't.
Comes all over your gaping maw.
Whoa! Oh my god! I may have said the F word, but my god.
Coming is just going somewhere.
You said gaping.
Yeah. It's not a naughty word.
Naughty. It is a naughty word.
This show just got blue.
Say the word gape to anyone.
Gaping.
Exactly. Oh, there's that big gaping gay.
A gape just could be a homosexual gorilla.
I'm not an ape, I'm a gape.
Hey.
Yeah, they are all the notes I have on this particular 2 minutes, Ethan.
And those are all the notes I have. Yeah, movie physics aside, it's probably one of the most ridiculous parts of the film. For me, mainly when Arnie just comes out the bottom of the bus, hits an oncoming police car, and kills no one, including himself.
And face plants.
Yeah.
Or the guy that he face plants into.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm also
if that
remarkably...
If Shaniqua, and I hasten to tell you guys that Shaniqua is actually Ethan's ass, that dude would have
I meant to actually send you, speaking of what we mentioned 2 episodes back about sending the wrong things to your mother, I was meant to send you a picture of a guy who had the biggest ass ever.
Who did you send it to?
Her. But if she's still got it on her phone, I'll forward it to you.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
A bodybuilder with a giant ass. It was so cartoonishly ridiculous. I
love that you're walking around Birmingham just taking photos of muscly.
Oh no! This is something on Google. Why I came across this, can't remember what I was looking for. It was not for bodybuilders with great asses, listeners. So
it was for Ethan's monthly prescription to Men's Health. It's like, ooh, look at those glutes.
It was Bears Monthly. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, but
Muscle Mary Weekly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show, everyone.
I enjoyed it. I've hysterically laughed at some of our cock-ups.
It was.
It was a good show. Slightly delirious.
I know we are. But we shall return, of course, with episode 44. So thank you all for listening. If you, as I said before, want to follow the clip as we talk about it, because the visuals might carry you through, because my reading certainly doesn't. You can go to 2 Minute Terminator on YouTube. If you like our page on Facebook, you can help yourself to a bunch of videos and clips and trailers and amazing stuff not seen even on the Terminator fan sites. We know this because we stole it from all the other Terminator fan sites. And if you want to like us on Twitter and follow us on Twitter, please do. I'm clutching at straws. You got anything else to add, Eleanor?
The fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger says, "Nice to see you. Get out."
By the way, before we wrap up, yeah, that "nice to see you" thing is almost like they're trying to set up a classic Arnie line there.
It's not going to happen, mate.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll be back, or if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Stick with hasta la vista,
baby. Oh, nice what you did there. All right. All right, I'm finishing. Jesus Christ.
I'm just snorting.
Finish on my gaping maw.
Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.